Did you wake up this morning feeling like your legs just weren't keeping up with you anymore? Maybe it was just a slight wobble when you stepped out of bed, or the familiar dull ache that crept up your calves after just a short walk across the room. If you're over 60 and noticing these signs, you're not alone. But what may surprise you is that this decline doesn't start with your legs. It starts with what you put on your plate each morning. There's a quiet, common mistake that tens of millions of older adults make before 9 a.m. each day. And no, it's not about forgetting to take supplements or skipping a gym session. It's far simpler than that. It's breakfast. Or rather, the wrong kind of breakfast. Or no breakfast at all. New studies in nutritional gerontology show that a critical window exists right after waking up. If you don't fuel your body correctly within that window, your body enters a self-destructive state, eating away at your own muscles for energy. And guess which muscles are the first to break down? That's right, your legs. Your legs are your body's foundation. They're what keep you mobile, independent, and free. But over time, if you're not feeding them properly, they start to shrink. Not dramatically, not all at once. It starts with subtle things. Your knees feeling stiffer, getting tired faster during walks, or struggling to rise from a chair without bracing yourself with both hands. This isn't just aging, it's preventable. In fact, some researchers argue that age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is more nutritional than inevitable, meaning it doesn't have to happen, and the solution is surprisingly simple. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 powerful breakfast strategies, backed by science, that can help protect your leg muscles, improve balance, reduce nighttime cramping, and even help you walk longer without fatigue. These aren't complicated recipes or expensive powders. These are everyday foods that you've likely seen before, but never thought of as a way to stay strong, steady, and confident in your stride. We'll also meet someone whose story might sound familiar, a retired piano teacher named Margaret. She was once energetic, agile, and always the first to volunteer for anything in her community. But something changed after 65. She began losing her sense of control, not over her mind, but over her legs. Her journey might inspire you as much as it inspired us to create this guide. The truth is, breakfast has the power to either accelerate or reverse leg weakness. And what you choose to eat, or skip, could make the difference between staying active or becoming reliant on others. Are you ready to discover how a small shift in your morning routine can protect the most important muscles in your body? Let's get into it. Let's talk about something that happens in silence. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. You don't hear it. You don't feel it at first. It doesn't come with swelling, bruises, or alarms. But one day, you go to climb the stairs, and it takes effort. Real effort. And that's when you begin to realize your legs aren't what they used to be. This slow erosion of strength has a name, sarcopenia, and it begins as early as your late 50s. But here's the catch. It's not just time that's doing this to your body. It's what you feed it, or fail to. When you wake up, your body is running on empty. You've gone 7, 8, even 9 hours without food. During that time, your blood sugar dips, your muscles begin drawing on stored energy, and if there's no fuel ready, your body starts breaking down muscle tissue, especially in your legs, where the largest muscle groups reside. Now you might be thinking, but I do eat breakfast. The question is, what kind of breakfast? If your first meal of the day includes just toast, a cup of coffee, or a few bites of something sugary, your body isn't rebuilding muscle. It's actually working against you. Let me introduce you to someone who learned this the hard way. Margaret, the retired piano teacher I mentioned earlier, was always full of energy. She once taught children in 3 different neighborhoods. But at 67, she started feeling wobbly. Her balance was off. She fell once, not a serious injury, but it shook her confidence. Her doctor didn't find anything major. No arthritis, no diabetes, no neurological issues. But Margaret knew her body was sending her a signal. That's when she began researching muscle loss. She discovered that the problem wasn't that she was too old. It was that her muscles were being starved, right at the start of each day. All her life, Margaret had been a light breakfast person. A banana and coffee, sometimes just tea and toast. It felt healthy and light, but it wasn't giving her body what it needed. She decided to change that. she started building a plate full of muscle-supporting foods within an hour of waking up. Eggs, oats, chia seeds, a little salmon on the weekends, Greek yogurt with berries. All simple, all delicious, and most importantly, full of the nutrients her legs were begging for. And the transformation? It wasn't overnight, but by the third week, her steps felt firmer. By week 6, she stopped needing the handrail to rise from her garden bench. Now, at 70, she's teaching piano to adults who never had time to learn when they were younger, and she walks there, without help. Margaret's story isn't unique. It could be yours. It starts with one decision: to stop ignoring your legs. And here's where I want to invite you in. If this message is resonating with you so far, take a second to subscribe to this channel. Not because we're chasing numbers, but because you deserve to get more of the guidance that could keep you strong, mobile, and independent. And let's do something different. In the comments, tell us this. What does walking freely mean to you? Is it walking with your grandchildren? Exploring your garden again? Traveling? We read every comment, and your story might just inspire someone else to make a change too. Your journey matters. Your strength matters. Now, shall we look at what breakfast should actually look like? Let's begin by rethinking breakfast. Not as just a routine or a quick bite on the go, but as a tool, a weapon, a daily chance to either fuel your body or quietly dismantle it from within. Especially after 60, breakfast is no longer optional. It becomes a form of self-defense. The first food we need to talk about is something deceptively simple: pasture-raised eggs. For decades, eggs were given a bad reputation, but science has shifted. Now they're recognized as one of the most complete and muscle-friendly foods on Earth, particularly for older adults. Why? Because eggs are packed with high-quality protein, which your body uses to rebuild the muscle tissue it loses overnight. And not just any protein, but a rich source of leucine, the amino acid most directly responsible for kickstarting muscle repair and growth. This matters more as you age, because the body becomes less efficient at absorbing and using protein. You need more to get the same results. But that's just the beginning. The yolk, often discarded, is actually the heart of the egg's power. It contains vitamin D, choline, vitamin B12, and even iron, nutrients that help support nerve function, balance, and leg coordination. Remember Margaret? One of the first things she added to her mornings was 2 boiled eggs, not fried, not greasy, just gently boiled with a dash of herbs. She paired them with sautéed spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. Within a month, she noticed she was getting out of bed with more stability. Her legs didn't tremble with the same hesitation. That change started with eggs. Now, let's move to the second food: steel-cut oats topped with flax and chia seeds. Why oats? Because your muscles need slow-burning energy. Not the spike and crash kind you get from sweetened cereals or white bread, but a steady release of fuel that supports your leg muscles throughout the morning. Oats are full of beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that not only helps digestion, but also lowers inflammation and improves how your muscles absorb nutrients. When you top them with chia or flax seeds, you're adding magnesium, potassium, and omega-3s, all critical to nerve signaling and muscle relaxation. This combo is especially effective for preventing those sharp leg cramps that tend to hit during the night. Here's how you make it powerful. Cook your oats slowly, add a teaspoon of chia, a teaspoon of ground flaxseed, and finish with cinnamon and blueberries. Not only is this meal delicious, it delivers targeted support to your legs and balance system. Then comes the humble yet mighty banana. One medium banana contains around 400 milliliters of potassium, just enough to help regulate the muscle contractions in your legs. Potassium plays a major role in keeping your leg muscles from seizing up or spasming. And because so many older adults take medications that deplete minerals, eating a banana in the morning can be a natural way to restore balance. But here's the trick. Bananas are best eaten with your breakfast, not alone. When paired with protein or fiber, bananas help deliver steady energy without spiking blood sugar. A small banana added to your oats or sliced over Greek yogurt is ideal. Speaking of which, Greek yogurt is our next key food. Unlike traditional yogurt, Greek yogurt is triple strained, making it higher in protein and lower in sugar. For people over 60, this matters. Your body needs more protein in smaller servings because it digests slower, and Greek yogurt delivers that. It's also high in calcium and vitamin D, both essential for bone strength and balance. But there's more. The probiotics in yogurt improve gut health, and that actually affects how your body absorbs nutrients. A healthy gut equals better muscle recovery. Want a tip? Buy plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add a few berries, a pinch of cinnamon, and maybe a dash of honey if needed. It's smooth, rich, and far better than the sugar-loaded varieties lining store shelves. And finally, let's talk about the underdog. Smoked trout or sardines. Yes, you read that right. Most people don't think of fish as breakfast food. But fatty fish like trout, sardines, and salmon are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These help reduce inflammation in your muscles and improve their ability to rebuild after sleep. They also support joint health and nerve communication between your brain and limbs. That means steadier walking, better reflexes, and fewer missteps. A simple plate of whole grain toast with avocado and sardines is surprisingly tasty and deeply healing. 2 or 3 times a week is more than enough. Let's be honest. Most people don't realize they're losing muscle until something forces them to notice. Maybe it's a slip that almost leads to a fall. Maybe it's the strange feeling of your foot dragging as you walk. Or maybe it's something subtle. You get winded more easily, or your legs feel heavier by the end of the day. This is how muscle loss works. It doesn't make a loud entrance. It doesn't come with pain or warning signs. It's slow, subtle, and devastating if left unchecked. Scientists refer to it as the invisible thief, and its favorite time to strike? Early mornings, when your body is vulnerable and empty, searching for fuel. If it doesn't find what it needs, it begins to feed on itself. And the first tissue it breaks down? Not fat, not organs, muscle, especially in the legs, where muscle mass is most metabolically demanding. That's why breakfast isn't about calories. It's about preservation. It's about telling your body, here's what you need. Don't take it from my muscles. The nutrients we've talked about, protein, omega-3s, potassium, magnesium, they do more than just fuel your muscles. They signal to your body that it's safe, that it can begin rebuilding instead of breaking down, that it can trust that more energy is coming. And once that happens, everything begins to shift. Your balance starts improving. You take longer strides. You stop needing to pull yourself up with your hands every time you stand. Your legs stop cramping at night. And you feel that small flicker of freedom again, the freedom of knowing your legs are supporting you, not the other way around. One of the most overlooked consequences of weak legs is emotional exhaustion. People start feeling like they're prisoners in their own homes. They avoid walking in the park. They skip steps to avoid strain. They ask for help more often, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes out of fear. But here's the truth. No one tells you. That loss of confidence is often reversible. You just have to give your body the tools to rebuild what's quietly slipping away. Let me share a quick story about James, a former landscape photographer in his early 70s. He spent his younger years traveling the mountains of Colorado and the red deserts of Utah with a tripod and camera in hand. His legs were once his greatest asset, but somewhere along the way, that power began fading. He blamed it on age, on the weather, on genetics. But the truth was far simpler. He had fallen into the habit of skipping breakfast completely, relying only on coffee until noon. By then, his body had already eaten away at precious leg tissue for fuel. When James learned this, he felt betrayed, not by his body, but by the years of misinformation. He switched things up. Within 2 months of committing to a high-protein, nutrient-rich breakfast, he noticed a dramatic change. He wasn't sprinting, but he no longer needed to rest after 5 minutes of walking. He began exploring trails again, slowly but proudly. He even returned to his favorite canyon overlook, camera in hand. You see, these stories aren't miracles. They're reminders. Reminders that we're not helpless. That decline isn't a rule. It's a signal, one we can respond to with action. So if you're still watching, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, what could your mornings look like if your legs felt 10 years younger? How would that change your confidence, your freedom, your relationships? Because that vision isn't unrealistic. It starts with a plate, a fork, a quiet choice. And tomorrow morning could be your turning point. Now, let's go deeper into what's really happening inside your body when you wake up and skip that crucial first meal, or when you choose something processed, sugary, or nutritionally empty. Think of your body as a smart but desperate machine. When you sleep, you're fasting. For 7 to 9 hours, your cells are running on reserves. And when you wake up, your body sends out a message: fuel needed. If you respond with real nourishment, your system relaxes. Muscles get repaired. Hormones stabilize. Energy flows. But if you don't, the body doesn't panic. It prioritizes. And unfortunately, one of the first places it pulls from is your skeletal muscle, particularly your quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves. The exact muscles that help you walk, rise, and stay steady. Why those? Because they're large, protein-dense, and metabolically expensive to maintain. In short, your body thinks it's doing you a favor by breaking them down. But day after day, this internal sabotage adds up. That's why so many older adults start noticing their balance isn't what it used to be. They get winded faster during simple chores. Leg cramps interrupt their sleep, or their posture shifts. They stoop slightly. They drag their steps. All of this leads to one core outcome: reduced mobility. And with reduced mobility comes a cascade of other issues: poor circulation, cognitive decline, increased abdominal fat, loss of appetite, even depression. Because when your legs stop supporting you, your world starts shrinking. But here's what's both startling and exciting. This decline is not permanent. Studies from top universities, including one from Oregon State, have shown that adults over 60 can recover up to 40% of lost leg strength in just 8 weeks, without intense exercise, simply by improving morning nutrition. Think about that. Almost half of your lost strength could come back, not with weights or workouts, but with eggs, oats, and better choices. Even more fascinating, research suggests that the neuromuscular system, the connection between your brain and your legs, responds quickly to dietary changes. Within a matter of weeks, people show improved coordination, quicker reaction times, and better posture, just from feeding their legs properly. That's because your leg strength isn't just about muscles. It's about communication. Your brain sends signals to your legs through nerves wrapped in a protective layer called myelin. That layer depends on nutrients like B12, choline, and omega-3s, all of which are found in the breakfast foods we've covered. This is why so many people report feeling clearer and more stable after changing their morning meals. They're not imagining it. Their systems are finally firing on all cylinders again. Let's not forget, your legs are the engines of your independence. Whether it's walking through a store, taking out the trash, climbing stairs, or dancing at a family wedding, your legs carry your life. And all of that starts with how you choose to break your fast. So tomorrow morning, when you open the fridge or scan your pantry, remember, this is not a small moment. This is your foundation. This is your comeback. Because no matter your age, strength can return. And with it, so does your sense of freedom. Let's bring everything we've learned so far into something tangible: your plate. Because theory is only powerful when it becomes practice. And that's what this block is all about. Real meals for real strength. Here are 5 breakfast combinations you can rotate through the week. Each one is designed not only to preserve your leg muscles, but also to boost circulation, reduce inflammation, and fuel the systems that keep you mobile. Option 1. The foundation plate. 2. Boiled pasture-raised eggs, a handful of sautéed spinach or kale in olive oil, 1 slice of whole grain toast, herbal tea, or warm water with lemon. This meal offers a complete amino acid profile, plus iron, magnesium, and vitamin D to support muscle repair and joint function. It's simple but deeply restorative. Option 2. The Power Bowl. Steel-cut oats cooked in almond milk, TSP chia seeds, 1 TSP ground flaxseed, sliced banana or blueberries, a dash of cinnamon. This combination stabilizes blood sugar, reduces cramping, and delivers long-lasting energy for your legs and brain. The fiber keeps digestion smooth, while the seeds support nerve and muscle coordination. Option 3. The Gut-Brain Booster. 1 cup plain Greek yogurt, unsweetened. A handful of mixed berries. A sprinkle of walnuts or almonds. Drizzle of raw honey. Optional. This is your go-to if you're short on time but still want a protein-rich, probiotic-packed meal. It boosts nutrient absorption and supports bone density, which is vital for leg stability. Option 4. The Omega Boost. 1 slice of sprouted grain toast, 1 ton or 2 avocado, 1 portion of smoked trout or wild sardines, herbal tea or black coffee. Don't overlook this one. The healthy fats in fish and avocado improve circulation, protect nerve pathways, and help fight inflammation, all crucial for older adults with muscle fatigue or joint stiffness. Option 5. The Anti-Cramp Combo. Steamed sweet potatoes, a pinch of Celtic sea salt, 2 scrambled eggs, fresh orange slices. Sweet potatoes deliver complex carbs and potassium. The sea salt replenishes electrolytes. And together with eggs, this breakfast is a powerhouse for reducing leg cramps and keeping your muscle fibers hydrated and ready for action. Now, what's just as important as what you eat is when. The ideal time to eat breakfast is within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking up. Why? Because this is when your body is still in a fasted state, and it's most likely to start breaking down muscle if no fuel is available. And here's a mistake many older adults make without even realizing it: delaying breakfast until mid-morning, or worse, skipping it altogether and relying only on coffee. While coffee has its benefits, it should never replace actual nourishment, especially if you're trying to preserve muscle. Another pitfall is sugary pastries or processed breakfast bars. These cause a spike in blood sugar followed by a crash, which drains energy and contributes nothing to muscle recovery. Over time, this habit slowly weakens your legs and undermines your mobility. Instead, picture your breakfast as your muscle insurance. Each bite is like putting money into your physical strength account. And believe me, after 60, you want to be making deposits, not withdrawals. By now, you've probably realized that breakfast is far more than a habit. It's a turning point. But let's not stop there. Nutrition may be the fuel, but how you use that fuel is equally important. So in this section, let's explore a few powerful but simple habits you can combine with your new breakfast routine to supercharge your results. The first, intentional morning movement. No, we're not talking about high-impact workouts or gym sessions. We're talking about light, strategic movements, stretches, slow-paced walks, balance drills that help wake up your muscles, get blood flowing to your legs, and remind your nervous system how to move with coordination. A simple morning routine might include 5 minutes of toe raises and heel lifts, 2 sets of slow squats using a chair for support, a short walk, just 10 minutes around the house or garden, gentle stretches for hamstrings and calves. Why does this help? Because when your body senses that your legs are being used, it prioritizes muscle maintenance there. Combine this with the nutrient-dense breakfast we discussed, and suddenly your body has both the raw materials and the reason to rebuild leg strength. Let's not forget the role of hydration either. Many older adults wake up mildly dehydrated. Without enough water, muscles can't contract properly. Nerves misfire. Blood circulation slows down. Even your balance can be thrown off. That's why starting your day with a glass of warm water, preferably with a squeeze of lemon or a few drops of electrolytes, can do wonders. It helps rehydrate muscle tissue, activates digestion, and preps your system to absorb nutrients more efficiently. The next overlooked tool? Mind-body awareness. Believe it or not, your mindset has a physical impact on your legs. Fear of falling, lack of confidence, or a belief that I'm too old to get stronger can lead to subconscious underuse of the muscles that need the most stimulation. People often adopt a shuffling walk, avoid stairs, or lean heavily on canes. Not always because they need to, but because they've stopped trusting their legs. This avoidance quickly turns into muscle loss. This is where something as simple as affirmations or visualizations can help. Start your morning by saying, "My legs are strong and becoming stronger every day. I walk with purpose and balance. My body knows how to heal." It might sound silly at first, but positive self-talk activates neural pathways that enhance coordination, reduce anxiety, and even improve reaction time. Your brain and body are not separate. They're in constant conversation, and you have more control over that conversation than you think. Finally, Take note of consistency over intensity. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You don't need to overhaul your life in 1 week. What matters most is what you do most of the time. So maybe tomorrow you start with eggs and spinach. The next day, you try oats and chia. Maybe you do heel lifts while waiting for the kettle to boil. Maybe you drink more water before coffee. Each small step you take is a message to your body. I'm here for you. I'm rebuilding. I'm not done yet. Because guess what? You're not. So what happens when you finally commit to this new path? The answer isn't always dramatic, but it is powerful. It begins subtly. You get out of bed one morning and realize your knees don't creak like they used to. You don't reach for the wall or the dresser to steady yourself. Maybe you walk a little farther than usual without thinking about it. Maybe the stairs don't seem like an obstacle anymore. These are not miracles. They're results. Real, measurable outcomes from giving your body what it's been asking for all along. Nourishment, movement, attention, care. Let me tell you about Elaine, a 74-year-old grandmother who once believed she was destined for a wheelchair. Not because of a diagnosis, but because of slow, creeping decline. She used to be active, always on the go, baking with her grandkids, gardening, walking with her neighbor. But over time, she started hesitating. She sat more, walked less. Her balance faltered. Her knees ached. The stairs became intimidating. Her doctor told her nothing was seriously wrong. Just aging, he said. But Elaine knew better. She felt like her body was waving a white flag. Until she stumbled upon a community, just like ours, focused on strength after 60. She watched a video like this one. She tried one change, adding Greek yogurt and berries to her breakfast. Then came boiled eggs. Then a few squats while brushing her teeth. And 3 months later, Elaine was back in her garden. She was leading walks instead of sitting them out. She sent us a message that said, "I feel like I bought myself 10 more years of freedom." That's the power of consistency, of small steps, of choosing to believe that you can still improve. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to take a moment to say something directly to you. Thank you. Thank you for caring about your body. Thank you for choosing to learn. Thank you for choosing yourself, because not everyone does. If this video has inspired you, I'd love for you to join our community. Click that subscribe button, not because of algorithms or trends, but because we're building a space where people over 60 can thrive, not just survive. And let's try something different today. In the comments below, share this. What's one thing you're proud of doing for your body recently? It can be big or small. It might be changing your breakfast. It might be walking a little more. It might be simply showing up to watch this video. Whatever it is, share it. You never know who you'll inspire just by being honest. Your story could be the spark that lights someone else's recovery. As we close this journey together, I want to leave you with one final truth, one that too many people forget. It's never too late. Not too late to rebuild. Not too late to feel strong again. Not too late to wake up, look in the mirror, and say, I still have more life to live, and I'm going to live it on my feet. Your legs are more than just muscle. They're freedom, their independence, their dignity. And what we've learned together today is that protecting that freedom starts every single morning with a fork, a plate, and a choice. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. You just need to make one intentional change, and then another, and then keep going. Because each small act of care you give your body is a vote for the life you still want to live. You might have stumbled into this video out of curiosity, or maybe by accident, but I believe there are no accidents. You were meant to hear this message today, and if it touched something inside you, if it reminded you that strength can return, that movement can feel good again, then hold on to that spark. Carry it with you tomorrow morning. Let it guide what you put on your plate. Let it shape how you walk to the kitchen. Let it remind you that no matter what your age, your story isn't done being written. And if this message spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to walk this journey with us. Hit that subscribe button, not just to stay updated, but to stay supported. Because this is a space where people over 60 are seen, valued, and celebrated. And one last thing, share your story with us in the comments. Tell us, what part of this video resonated most with you? What did you learn that you didn't know before? And what change are you going to make starting tomorrow morning? Let's make this more than a video. Let's make it a community, a space for strength, for healing, for hope. Because no matter your past, your legs still have a future, and that future starts now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for choosing to stand tall again.